And we can see what we want to go over today. I don't have finished grant applications, but I'm in deadline mode since 3 are due beginning of next week. So I have some stuff to show you that's sort of parts and pieces, but I started tackling a single program budget that incorporates a big ask for basically community development, saying here's the audiences we want to impact with these programs and how many people we want to put through them. So here's a big giant total. Now we'd like you to contribute a portion of it. So I'd hope to have that a little further, but I have a building block to show you today, and we can see if we think I'm on track. And that's modeled after the Laura J. Niles budget, which was successful to some degree. So other than that, I thought I'd see, I'll share one more update, which is that the Allegan Community Foundation, which shows promise, and we have a recent relationship with, also made us aware that for their grants and maybe for some others, we should have our intent to solicit certificate from the state. And so I applied for that and received it between the last couple of weeks. So we now have that. So if that shows up anywhere, one, that lets us move forward with them on their deadline, which is December 1st, I believe. And two, it just looked like that could be a delay, just sitting waiting for the state to get back to you, but they did, so we're good. So that's good news. And I just thought I'd start by seeing what anybody else wants to have on the agenda in terms of review, and then we can decide what to do in what order.
I am a little behind. I have been ill and then 2 sick toddlers, so I'm not as productive as usual. But I did complete one, the Rhonda E. Stryker
Great.
form. They are really focused on Kalamazoo County. So if we were able to target that population, I think it would be a fit. If not, I don't think they would fund something that's not. It seems pretty clear that they're interested in Kalamazoo County residents.
Okay, so if we had a hookup with Kalamazoo County clients, then we could, then either the client or us could work on funding.
Yeah. Yep. So we can go through that one today if you want to hear about that opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, I would.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll do, hi, Abena.
Hi.
We were just talking about what we wanted to go over today. And I have a sort of a work in progress budget for what I'm calling the Red Horse Community Development 2023 program, which would summarize a bunch of financial assistance for programs. And then we could use this repeatedly for various grant requests. So we're going to go over that. We have some information from Ashley on Stryker, and Tom is out for the day. And then, so we are just opening it up if you have anything you want on today's agenda. Okay. So let me jump into this budget then. There's a couple ways to look at this. Let me show you what we used for Laura J. Niles. Also, I updated the card. I asked Laura J. Niles about recognition and thanking them, and they prefer to be anonymous. So it was a few weeks before she got back to me, but I'm glad we asked and sort of, you know, paused before making a big check for the socials and then finding out they don't want that.
Yeah, congratulations though. Good job.
Thanks. So this was what we submitted. I'm also starting to use Google Drive for this stuff. I don't know how much we'll use it for us, but I'm going to start putting links in cards because opening up a million files to go back and reference is and downloading from Trello and uploading is all driving me a little crazy. So I'm going to choose the crazy of Google Drive, which is just a slightly different brand. Anyways, so this is what we did for that. We created Horse and Human Fund. We identified the population served and the category of service, and then identified things like, are we doing full coverage for participants? Are we doing variable pricing? Is it other things like animal care and program development? And then that gave us a total. And then based on their structure, they wanted to know, what other funding do you have committed? What other funding are you seeking? And what's your request from us? So we requested 45 and got 2,500, but I like this model in terms of not having to recreate this every time. And also operationally, it gives us targets for, here's the number of people and the type of people we're trying to serve. And if we come in and our total program budget is less than, like in this instance, then we adapt accordingly. So let me do something for a second. So let me zoom in here. This is not quite in presentation mode. This was more of a building mode. But this is what I'm thinking makes our community development program. And this was coming from audience and program over here, but I'm spelling it out right here. So youth, we've got youth that we would serve through the schools, and we would offer these two programs. And then this is just helping me kind of understand what dollar amounts. This isn't what I don't think people want to see this level of detail, but it's my support piece to create the number. So if we did 5 schools and they had their, they might do different lengths and stuff. So I started creating hours per client so that if they did, 4 2-hour sessions at 8 hours a client, then that cost would be this. And for schools, we, for all these, I just started this X column. Let me make an adjustment here. So that we can say full price, or somebody else, we can say 50% or variable pricing. So Youth Foster, which is a group we've seen through MYOI program, which is the Department of Health and Human Services. They have a little different structure, but they would be 6 sessions. And maybe we can add another program to that, and that would be their cost. Going on down, community development, municipalities and area nonprofits offering a trauma-informed lens workshop to them as a group. And could we do that 6 times, meaning 6 different groups? And if we did that, that would be a cost of 21,600. So it's like 3,500 per team doing a 6-work series. Now, this is an area where if you wanted to say, we'd like to support variable pricing and give them an opportunity to come in for less, but still fund their own cohorts. And I think for teams and for businesses with budgets, that might be a good way to go. I like it partly because, especially if we can describe it sort of discretionary. saying we're not looking for full funding, but we'd like to be able to provide variable pricing, then I find that organizations that don't pay something to get in often are less reliable as a client. So organization operationally, I like that. And then two, I think from a grantor, they'd like to see organizations that have budgets probably chipping in.
What I like, I have a similar philosophy, but a little different twist, is I like a base rate and the idea that you provide financial assistance and that's where the donor money comes in.
Yeah, and if we go back to how we were describing that in Laura J. Niles, we said, full cost covered is here, and then support for variable pricing made available to this community, equivalent to 20 participants at 50% or 10 at 0. So I'm sort of indicating that that there's various prices that may be applied, and this is what this amount of support equals. Now, if that should be revised, we can. That's what was there and what I was going to adopt for this.
Yeah, the term financial assistance or financial support is a funding trigger.
Well, that's over here. So the category of support is financial assistance for equitable access to programs.
Okay.
And then this other definition is just trying to explain what does this dollar amount cover.
Okay.
And here we're saying it could be 10 people at full cost or 20 people at 50%.
Gotcha.
And we're
Okay.
not committing to how many you're going to do what, because we don't know yet. We don't know the people, and we're going to be talking to multiple funders. So that's my explanation. If somebody wanted to inquire, I said, well, you could shape your grant support however you'd like. But this program is built where this dollar amount is here for this logic.
Got it.
And then if somebody wanted to say, I want to support 10 people at 0 cost, then we could make that happen.
It's very thoughtful.
So community development, I have trauma-informed lens for groups, organizations, and I have the WOW implicit bias for organizations. Each of those, we just put at 50%. Educators, which I'm actually going to move up to the second position, and I'll show you how this has started in another screen, but 11 o'clock came and it wasn't done. So at the bottom of it's a little confusing. Anyways, educator organizations, meaning schools. So doing groups, taking them through trauma-informed lens. We're saying we could have up to 12 per session. We could probably do more. It's 6 hour-and-a-half sessions at this rate, which is full price. If you were going to fund 3 schools to go through this program, which would be 36 people, that would be $10,800. And I feel like I might leave that at 100% as in terms of the program goal. And then we have educators in education or educators. Then we have industry members and individuals. So if a teacher wants to sign up for trauma-informed lens or Thrive Story Circle or retreat, or a teacher wants to do WOW, or faculty or whatever, anybody that's in that industry, then we've calculated that separately because they can be coming on and joining an existing group and not coming as a team.
Hey, Fred.
Yeah.
The 3 schools and the 36 people,
Mm-hmm.
that formula to me feels off. Maybe one school with 30 people. it doesn't seem, a school's gonna have a lot of people.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about, well, we could increase this number too. I'm talking about the number of people they would send out to professional development cohorts.
So are you saying 3 schools for a total of 36, so it'd only be like 12 people per school?
That's right.
Okay.
But I mean, I just made it 20 per school.
And these are educators, right? Like,
Yeah,
okay.
and I'm kind of just targeting.
How big are your schools out there? Our
Well,
schools are huge.
our town only has 1,200 people or something like that. So,
Gotcha. Okay, that makes
and
more
I'm
sense.
also just trying to be realistic in that we're not going to get this at this point in time. I think realistically, we're talking about leadership teams, we're talking about administration, and maybe we're talking about dipping toes in the water and saying, how about this group goes
Yeah,
and does this thing. And so
yeah.
these are sessions that also have a capacity. So the cohort term is also, that could be one school sending 3 different groups, or
Mhm.
but it's 3 versions of a 20-person group. I think 20 is high. I think I'll do 15, like 15 people per cohort. And then if we wanted to see more people, we could increase either the number of cohorts or something else.
Gotcha. Okay.
But then to me, this gives me, and I'll show you the new part that would actually be in the request, is I think having the number of people impacted is a valuable number for the funder. And
So
I'm just
other
seeing,
one, the other column you might want is, actually you have it. So the contact hours per client, that's really good.
yeah,
Because then you can multiply it by the number of people impacted for a total contact hour.
oh yeah. Good.
Fred,
Yeah.
what is going into the calculation for the cost? Is it, as personnel, is it personnel and, what is?
Yeah, generally speaking, and we can spell that out. I think I spelled it out in the previous grant request, but
Okay.
it's facilitation, site fees, horses, materials, meals. It's
Okay.
everything needed to see a client.
So it's the direct cost. It doesn't include the administrative overhead or stuff like that.
Correct. And when we were yeah, in this particular one, we didn't do any administrative overhead. So that was the total cost. Let me zoom out a little. So we could do that, put administrative or marketing. We could add that as another line item.
I would recommend it. Most grants ask for
Yeah, but
not
yeah,
to exceed 10 to 15.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll just make a
but
note.
yeah, but yeah, on a separate line item though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, thanks.
Is administrative and marketing in the same thing?
Yeah,
Oops.
I guess it depends, but general yeah.
There's a difference between administrative and overhead. So overhead is 10 to 15% on most grants. And that's different than administration.
What
That's
is overhead in terms of?
Overhead's just pure overhead and they know it. So on the grant forms, they'll ask you what your overhead is, or they'll have a formula on the budget that just says not to exceed 10% or 15.
Okay,
Overhead is lovely. Mostly shows up in the state and federal grants, county grants, things like that.
okay, but I can add them as line items below all this program.
Yep.
And that I think also, so that could be in this total program budget. And then the grant request is separate and it could just be, we're asking for a portion of this program.
Great
Meaning-
work.
So the main thing here is that for educators, I'm repeating this in healthcare and hospitality, which is we have organizations doing trauma-informed lens. We could probably also put team retreats there. And then we have individuals from that industry getting assistance to attend any of the programs as an individual. I think what I might do is put the funding request at 50% for the individuals, but then maybe increase the individuals. Or maybe not.
Fred, is this an internal document?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And then, so this repeats for healthcare and hospitality. I've changed the numbers of people, et cetera. And then what I'm converting it to is basically mirroring the horse and human fund. And I've put populations, I've changed the order of things. So the population served is first. And then the category, what are we asking for? Financial assistance. What are the programs? And funding provides full cost or support. Number of people impacted, dollar total. And then I think per your suggestion, we could put contact hours. Is that what you suggested?
Total contact hours. There you go.
And so this is what I have done through, there's some formatting issues here, but so I've got youth and educators. And what I'm doing is taking these numbers from the page that we just worked on, but putting it in a presentable format that's appropriate for copy and pasting it into a grant request, saying, here's our program. I don't know what the total is going to end up in. This is going to be a significant part of our 2023 budget. And it's moving around a little bit here, but these are my real estimates. I just haven't necessarily finished sanding. But we're talking about bringing 25 or 50, 25 members of the hospitality industry through some program and 50 of them through WOW. It's probably a little optimistic, and the same for healthcare and educators. I think this is probably more like 30. But on the other hand, if we had funding, it's a heck of a lot easier to get people in. So,
And the funding thing for hospitality,
yeah,
there in Washington State, there's B&O tax and business and occupation tax. And what they do is each county sets up their own committee representative of hotel owners and restaurant owners who determine how they're going to spend that money, and they give out grants.
Right.
And so I don't, have you seen anything like that where you live?
Well, our hospitality tax does exist, and I think it goes to CVB's, the Convention and Visitor Bureau. And then I don't know if there's a state organization. I know there's there's a few other trade associations like the Restaurant Association. But I don't know where else there'd be funding, but I know some people I could ask.
Yeah, that would be great. We would get little grants, like 10 to 15,000 when I ran Future of Flight. It was really nice. Mostly for marketing, which was even better. Because they wanted the visibility as well. So
Yeah. So that's the long and short of it. I mean, we have I have Huntington, Perigo, Gilmore, all lined up to be done by Monday. And I have all the parts and pieces for the various programs. And the big thing is, what's the ask? And this is where I kind of decided to tackle, let's make one big ask we can always do small ones a la carte, but I figure if we have this big piece for 2023 and I can get it ironed out, then we can be collecting participants as we go. And I can also look at this list right now and have a fairly accurate where else are you seeking funding component of these four, because I can list these 5 places. So that's where that's at.
have you settled on dollar amounts for your requests?
I haven't settled on them, but they're each sort of highlighted in their prep document. So I have targets begun, but I haven't started actually dropping it into their application. It was actually who was I in? So yes and no. It's not finalized, but we have sort of sketched out.
One thing you want to show up as is you want to look at past funders, who they've funded, and look at the levels of funding, so that you're not too far below or way above.
And I think I have the information needed to do that.
Okay, that's good. I like hitting the middle of the lane.
And I would have liked to have had all this done for today's meeting so we could be reviewing it, but
You got pretty far.
I am where I am.
Yeah.
But we have a certificate of intent to solicit, so little things. So that's that. Any other input or questions or sage words of advice before we jump into Ashley's?
Can you put the certificate in Trello?
Yeah.
Be great. I think you've come a long ways. What I like in this version is I don't feel like we're going to be revamping the program or services you're offering. And that will allow for more stability with requests to funders.
Yeah, I do think that I got to make a note to myself. I do think that I should add team retreats in that scope, even though I think we have a lot more likelihood to say, here's the program we want them to attend.
Yeah.
And it speaks to your issues because there's a curriculum. So if you want to do whatever, but on the other hand, I think if we reference line items for the opportunities for certain groups to say, we just want to come out and work on our team, it'd be great to not have to do that a la carte all the time and be able to draw from that fund to help somebody if they're just under budget. You know, so if we're talking with a group that that's appropriate to help with funding. It'd be great to be able to draw from this and have it apply, even if it was not a curriculum-based retreat.
Yeah.
So I'll figure out how to work that in.
I wonder if you have a way to and I don't, Abner, you might have a suggestion, but because these are first time submissions to the funder, that we put in some sort of sentence that says we have other opportunities as well, such as sponsorships.
Oh, yeah.
Some sort of clause.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's more in the language, not in the budget.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, really good work.
Thanks. I'm hoping it'll make things be faster too. And in terms of the grants that we have research done on, I believe I have the deadline ones highlighted in order. There's probably other grants we don't know about yet that are wrapping this fall. And I think next week we can take another swing at trying to catch any that we might be missing. But on the other hand, this is an important group that have been researched and are still open.
Did we get a contract signed with the YMCA?
No, I haven't heard back from her the last couple of emails. I gave her new dates and times that were
Okay,
at her requested time.
okay,
So which start November 10th. Well, she had options. I said you could either. But so essentially it starts November 10th if she wants it. But I have not heard.
one
And I've
P-
followed up last Thursday.
cool. I'll text her and just see. One thing when you're marketing or promoting all this is to make sure that remote access is an option.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe even something like if you're giving a variety of menus for programs, maybe they're asterisk which ones can be remote.
Yeah. That's a great point.
I think that's your superpower.
Take all the superpowers we can get.
I think it's a powerful one. I really enjoyed the one I did. So I thought it was really good.
Thanks. Yeah, that's a really good note that I need to put that in all of the places those programs are seen.
Yeah. Because not all of them will work for remote. So, but acknowledging that I think is really powerful.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Or we'll jump into Stryker. Take it away. Oh,
One quick one. So you're going to draft grants and then are you shooting them out to us for review or what's going on?
yeah, I am normally, and I will this time. I intended to do that so that we could review this week and last week in person.
Yeah.
We now don't have a meeting prior to deadline, so I will be sending them out, but I'm
Via
also
via-
preparing to just go for it if I have to.
Okay. And if you'd put it in box, I mean, not in box, in Trello,
Yeah,
as well as send it, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I will.
I'm not sure how we originally came across this foundation, but we talked about just looking deeper, not last week, but the week before. I saw that one of their employees is actually somebody I used to work with, so we do have a
Ooh.
little bit of a connection there. She used to work at the foundation that's associated with the organization I'm employed at, so could use that connection if we need to. She's the operations administrator. They are open call, but this is the one I said is really specific to Kalamazoo County.
Mm,
Pretty much every grant they gave is Kalamazoo, city of or county of. They're really interested in generational poverty and systemic issues, supporting disadvantaged people, low income people. These are some of the areas that might relate to Red Horse.
yeah, those are good.
Strengthen and build equitable communities, collaborate with organizations that work toward eliminating intergenerational poverty in Kalamazoo County.
Can you go back up for a sec?
Yep.
So right there, we strive to use a trust-based philanthropy approach in all we do. Nice. So just for the group, trust-based means they give you the grant and they're not going to be real bureaucratic about it. And they're going to trust that you're empowered to meet your needs. And they may do like 1 year-end report or even like a visit to understand better your work, but they're not micromanaging, they're not over directional or over engaged. So I like when people call out their trust based, I'm like, oh, good. So it's great.
General operating support, specific project and programs. So I think that fits the bill.
Yeah.
They have a wide variety of grant amounts. A lot of them are 6 figures. Most are 6 figures. One that I found that I thought was a decent alignment. They have an organization, I think you would say Erase. It's for eliminating racism and celebrating equality. They gave them an 80K grant in 2019. So maybe I don't know if the implicit bias training or some of the WOW work maybe is kind of in alignment with what they're interested in.
Nice.
Oh, could you go back up for a second?
Yep.
Yeah, I was looking at the key staff and board. Mhm. Yeah,
Didn't
Is
see
this an
membership.
open call?
Yep.
There we
Yep, open call. It looks like 2022 is out or at the end of the year, but applying early next year is an opportunity.
which is good in that in some ways it might give us an opportunity to talk to some Kalamazoo schools, which we should have some people in.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that these are some of the people that created the Kalamazoo Promise, which was funded anonymously by community leaders that provides 100% college tuition if you were in the Kalamazoo school system for your primary and secondary. So it's pretty big money and pretty big education focus.
Yeah.
But also very Kalamazoo, like it coincides with like their Kalamazoo focus is not small. But I think if we had an education-based program or implicit bias-based program that was directly linked to interested parties in the Kalamazoo educational system, I think we'd have a very compelling grant.
Mhm.
So it being in March actually gives us a little time to maybe get some people on board.
Yep. Yeah, so the diversity, equity, inclusion is important to them, and kind of overcoming barriers for low income generation. So if we feel like it's a good fit and we can,
Well, I like that you have a contact too, because a really fun one is to, especially if Fred's looking at groups to collaborate with,
mhm,
that's a really fun one to pump funders on. To say, hey, do you have a focused school that you're aware of that really needs the help, or a nonprofit? Here's the kind of services we do. Open to hearing your thoughts, because what we want to do is spend the time between now and submission identifying quality partners we can team up with. And so just by having that conversation, and they may be willing to do an introduction or two, you never know.
mhm.
So I would recommend that.
So I plopped that form in the card, wherever the card is.
I just moved the card to geography challenged.
Thank you. I was like, I thought it was right here. And it had a note on there about December, so I don't know if we want to change that. Since
Yeah.
the deadline is December, March.
Yeah, change that for sure.
I just made a comment on it. Perfect. Whoa, Trello.
Love it.
Okay. That was
Yeah.
the only one I had for today.
I feel like we had some updates from Tom and email in the last week. Let me look at that.
I wouldn't put it under aligned and geography challenged. I'd say aligned and partner needed for Kalamazoo, so that we don't view it as a no,
Yeah,
but view it as an opportunity. I think there's a difference between challenged and
should it go into cultivation because we're looking for potential clients?
I like the idea that it's under qualification, but it's that subhead that bugged me. The aligned but geography challenged. It's more like aligned needs Kalamazoo partner. Who's that third party that we can partner with?
Yeah, so
Because that's an extra step of work, right? And I think that's your new world. You'll be doing a lot of networking and partnering.
I'm gonna put needs KZU in the subject and just move it to aligned.
Yeah.
What was our, oh. So we need a LOI for Steelcase.
Woohoo.
Need LOI for, so, okay, so the ones in qualification that aren't moving forward either need a partner or an LOI. Or an invitation. Okay,
Are you okay? Paul,
I have a terrible cold.
well, thanks for that work, Ashley. That looks good. And
Yeah,
I
I'll try to
think
get
we
the other
have
stuff done.
more. It's partly instinct and partly because I've lived in the Kalamazoo area and I've worked in the Holland GR area. And so all of these communities were in the Bermuda Triangle between. But I have an instinct that Kalamazoo has a lot more potential. Just based on the type of organization and money it's in Kalamazoo, I think are likely to be more aligned and a little more adventurous. And a little more education, just a little more likely to get us than some of the similar geography challenges in Grand Rapids. I feel like is a bigger ask so this is an example of one that we could start trying that out with that I would be more excited about than the same organization with some big old wealth in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, there's definitely cultural differences. between
Yeah,
the
and
two.
we'll see if all that bears out. Like, I don't want to rule anybody out based on that, but I think they're about the same drive and same
Mhm.
distance, but Kalamazoo is probably a little more fertile.
Okay.
And that may even be for me finding people that could help us talk to schools and get some specific interest started as part of the grant. So
That could even be a good volunteer role. Do you
Mhm.
like to network?
Yeah,
Could be a really interesting one. Like, are you a retired school district administrator? We need you. You get a retired principal or superintendent, that's a home run.
yeah.
So you can
So
on volunteer match.
I am also presenting at Rotary on Tuesday.
Woo! Nice. Nice. Yep.
I haven't put it together yet, but I'm sure I have plenty of what I need. And all this sort of stuff helps. I mean, when you look at our program list these days, it's definitely, we have a lot more specifics to talk about in terms of how we reach people than we did this time last year.
Oh gosh, yeah. Definitely.
So
Does Rotary in your area, do they have the presidential citation? Do you know what that is?
no, I have no idea. But our Rotary is just getting started. There's a couple area Rotaries that I've gotten names to that are a little more mature. So if we have it, I don't know if anybody knows we have it. Like, we're still trying to get committees figured out.
Yeah. So there's a thing called the presidential citation, and you can look it up nationally at rotary.org, I'm pretty sure. But the reason for looking that up is that the international president for Rotary states what all Rotary's goals are for that year.
Hmm.
And then everybody's goals roll up to that president's. And it's a presidential citation, meaning if your Rotary hits, I can't remember what it is, but a percentage of that citation, then they get a presidential citation presented to them for achieving that goal.
I see. I probably do have that then.
And the reason that that's helpful is sometimes it's around like vocational ed or mental health or volunteerism, things like that. So being able to look and see what those goals are, you can tie into your group's goal be
Mhm.
able to say, hey, this maps to exactly what Rotary's doing. And these are the offerings we do. We do a work party cleanup once a year. We'd love to invite you up to it, things like that.
Yeah,
'Cause- So just a little sidebar on Rotary, but if you ever want to chat deeper, let me know.
thanks.
I'm a Rotary nerd. I'm not in Rotary anymore, but I did spend 15 years in it, so.
Yeah, well, I might hit you up then as I get ready,
Okay.
but grants
Yeah.
are first. I'm
Exactly.
gonna close down every other window of every other thing.
Nice.
Find new ways in.
That's great. Excited.
So if everybody's good, we can call it a meeting. And Bonnie, I hope you feel better soon. It
Yeah,
sounds
feel
rough.
better.
Yeah, I'm going to the doctor today at 11. Can't wait. It's like, please give me some drugs.
And if people have stuff to work on between now and next week, great. If not, send us a note.
Fred, you got just a couple minutes?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Bye,
we can.
everybody.
um, I'll see you.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you. Good
Bye.
work.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, feel better.
Thank you.
I just wanted to, I'm trying to set up a birthday fundraiser for Red Horse.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to really do it through Facebook. So I saw that, you have the, we have the,
Yeah, I haven't told anybody, but I have. You can create a fundraiser in that trust fall.
okay,
And
okay,
I did one and called it for the cocktail class.
mm-hmm,
So
okay. So then
think,
I can,
let me, because I was gonna get out to the team pretty soon on that, but
okay.
so like if you go here,
Mhm. Yeah,
oh, mine is already here, but you would say, does it say create a fundraiser here?
yeah, there is one that says create a fundraiser.
And then, so this is what that would look like.
Okay,
Fred's fundraiser is
okay,
contributing to this.
okay, and then
And
I
then
can
this is what
embed that
I'm
in
giving
Facebook,
people for,
right?
what's that?
I can embed that in Facebook, right? Like I
Yeah,
could just put an email and say, I'm doing this, click on this
Yeah.
link.
yeah, I mean, in Facebook, you can do it through Facebook as well, but Give Lively, let's see here.
I don't think that, well, yeah, let me see if it'll let me do a link. I'll figure something out. I just know that last time I did something on Facebook, a lot of people didn't like funding through Facebook.
Yeah,
So
oh, so this would be a specific nonprofit.
hmm,
Oh,
Yeah.
but this is good, so I can.
oh, okay, I'll read through that and see how to do that.
Yeah, and I don't know that you can do that, but our page could do this.
Oh, okay.
But you can certainly, when you're on your campaign, if you're talking about just listing a link,
Mm-hmm,
I mean, what I
Yeah.
always do is, so you would copy this link,
mm-hmm,
and then what I always do is use tiny URL so you don't have some massive link.
okay, yeah,
And like,
okay.
you could go here, put that link in, and then you could say like, I'm
okay.
gonna Red Horse. So the link would be tinyurl.com /
Okay.
whatever you want.
Mm-hmm,
That's what made, so like I use these, so they're just not as cumbersome.
got it. Okay,
And that's what I'm putting on Facebook.
okay. Okay,
So,
I'll get that going.
okay.
And then as far as Walmart,
Yeah,
no word, nothing,
no, not yet, but I'm,
okay.
I'll let you know something end of day today.
Okay, because if my week, of course, has gotten away from me. I was
Yeah.
supposed to have some work done yesterday, and then he's not coming. He says it was supposed to be done this weekend. It's just they're building this thing in my kitchen, and it's just a mess.
Yeah,
So anyway, I don't know if I can be there on Friday.
okay,
Um,
well,
If they-
that's fine.
okay,
Like I wouldn't, if you can't be here on Friday, just, that's cool. I can still try to make Walmart happen, or we
okay,
can make it another time.
okay. Well, yeah, if they can't do Friday, you can't, then I'll, just let me know when.
Okay,
And then, yeah, I was gonna call Carmen and ask her if if I could just order some cheeses and stuff from her,
yeah,
so that it's just ready on Saturday, and
yeah.
so I'll do that.
Do you have her number?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Sorry, thanks. See you soon.
thank you. See you soon.
Bye.